how to make a star out of yourself. Why is self-promotion important? We're often told that modesty is a nice quality, but that doesn't apply to the marketing world. Here, you need to sell yourself just as much as your products or services, and content marketing might just be the way to do it. Think about all the other companies that sell similar products or services you do. You need self-promotion to make the potential buyer find exactly you among them, because they believe you have the best offer and quality. Other reasons for considering self-promotion are: talent doesn't always equal recognition. Even if your products or services are the best, people won't come to you unless you're well promoted. Just think of all the artists whose works were appreciated only after they passed. So don't be a Van Gogh in your field. Success requires many relationships and connections. Sure, you can run a successful little business and depend on your regular customers, but if you want to grow as a company, you need to make connections with partners, potential buyers, and the audience. Usually, all of those want to form relations with companies that have a good reputation, so make sure you have one. The leading organizations need to keep up with the best performers. Just doing your job doesn't cut it anymore in today's world. It's of course impossible to always be the best, but you can't let the outsiders of your company know that. The recipe is do more with less, which sometimes means selling yourself or the company even if you aren't on top at the exact moment. The primacy effect. This is explained as the tendency to remember the first piece of information we encounter better than the information presented later on. To understand this better, imagine you're learning a list of words. You're more likely to remember the ones at the top of the list than the ones in the middle. It's the same in business. People tend to remember the companies that are on the top, so make sure you stay there in their minds and experiences. Hopefully, you see that self-promotion doesn't mean overselling yourself or lying, but rather showcasing your strengths and achievements. However, it is true that these two things can be similar at the first glance. So, how can you sell yourself without seeming like a narcissist? Positive self-promotion tactics. Communicating your value without bragging. There is a thin line between self-promotion and bragging, and you should make sure not to cross it. Emphasizing hard work, sticking to the facts, keeping it real, sharing gratitude, giving credit, and acknowledging help from others while also offering help yourself are all little tricks that you can keep in mind when promoting yourself or your company. It may sound like a lot, but you'll soon learn how to do this effortlessly. The importance of looks and results. You can talk all you want, but do you have the looks and even better, results to support your self-promotion? A good public look can be a lot of things: a well-maintained web page and social media, good partner on audience relations, a welcoming workplace, and so on. All of the listed can support your claims of being at the top of your game in your field. But what's even better are actual results and statistics that can also back you up. Remember how we presented case studies as a content marketing type? You can use it for self-promotion as well, because it will give you reliable proof that your work is done correctly and has quality. Besides the look of your company, it's also important to focus on your look. There's good reason why we have a look called the business look. It's been proven again and again that we usually trust people who are well dressed and have a well-groomed appearance, especially in the business world. Our clothes, shoes, hairstyle, nails, jewelry, and accessories also send a message to the people we interact with, and can also be important in our self-promotion. Of course, we don't want you to go out of your comfort zone or even purchase clothing items that you can't afford. But if you plan to go to a meeting or an event, try to keep in mind that visual looks are very important for the first impression. So think about how you feel when you see people dressed in a certain way, and use this for picking your look. Model enthusiasm and a positive attitude. A positive and enthusiastic attitude is a critical component of workplace success. It's also important in self-promotion. If you have a sincerely positive attitude, it can be reflected in your audience and partners. This may not always come easy, but simple things like taking risks, communicating with colleagues, celebrating accomplishments, and sometimes even being a bit playful can help with all that. We also suggest that you use positive and reassuring words. For example, I can do this, or I know about this, when talking about your skills and knowledge. At the same time, don't oversell yourself. It's normal to not know everything. So admitting that you're not the expert on everything can also help with self-promotion. If you add that you're willing to learn more and ask for help when you need it. Active listening. Active listening is also very important. If you only talk about yourself and your ideas, but don't take the time and interest to listen to others, people won't find you pleasing. You can show interest in many ways, both verbal and non-verbal communication. For example, you look at the person who's talking, you don't interrupt them, you ask questions and show genuine interest in what they have to say. You turn your body towards the person talking. Try taking time and listening to others when they talk about themselves and their ideas. This way, you'll not only get the opportunity to meet a lot of interesting, qualified people, but also have the chance to form meaningful relations with your business partners, colleagues, and audience. Always be prepared. Being prepared and not looking lost in front of people is a great way to leave a good and professional impression on people. When you talk about your business, be sure that you know the subject, especially when talking to possible business partners. When planning events, meeting new partners, or other things that require a face-to-face conversation, you can prepare some questions or topics that you can use if there would be uncomfortable silence or something similar. Another thing that is suggested here is to practice how you talk about yourself and your business. You can do this alone or maybe ask someone you trust to listen to you and give you feedback. This way, you'll be ready when speaking to a bigger audience or new people. Where can I promote myself? A great app for showcasing your work-related achievements is LinkedIn, an American business and employment-oriented online service that's accessible via websites and mobile apps. It was primarily created for professional networking and career development, as it allows job seekers to post their CVs and employers to post jobs, this way creating a connection between them. A person's profile typically consists of some personal information, a curriculum vitae that describes their work experience, education and training, skills, and a personal photo. It also allows users to write a review about you that others can see on your profile. Positive reviews make you more interesting to a potential employee, so they promote you. Another place where self-promotion is not just possible, but even desired, is special marketing events. These can be organized for different reasons, whether it's a conference, a product launch, etc. But if you have the chance to talk to people from the same or similar field as you are, you can use this opportunity for a little self-promotion. Presenting your work and achievements to the right people can open up business opportunities, possible partnerships, collaborations, and so on. As long as you stay humble enough and don't oversell yourself, self-promotion at events can be very beneficial. It's time for another exercise. We suggest that you pause the video after the instructions, as this one could take a little more time. Take a piece of paper or an electronic device and write a short speech about yourself. Try highlighting your biggest achievements, successes, best qualities, and skills. When you're done, change your name with another person's and try reading it as if you were reading about someone else. How does it sound to you? Is the speech interesting, or does it feel like bragging? If so, what could you change so that you would make it better and more interesting for the audience?